Have you ever wondered why some men leave a permanent mark on a woman's heart, while others fade away like they never existed? It's not always about looks, money, or status. Women, at their core, are wired to remember certain behaviors, moments that touch their psychology so deeply that they can never erase the memory of the man who gave them that experience. In today's video, we're diving into female psychology and uncovering the 5 things a man can do that a woman will never forget. So if you've ever asked yourself, what makes a man unforgettable? Stick around, because what I'm about to share with you might change how you see relationships forever. Let's begin. Section 1. The power of emotional safety. The very first thing women never forget is how a man made them feel emotionally safe. See, life for many women can feel like a constant storm. Expectations, responsibilities, insecurities, doubts. And in the middle of all that noise, the man who creates a safe space for her stands out like a lighthouse in the dark. Emotional safety doesn't mean being a pushover or agreeing with everything she says. It's about giving her the freedom to be vulnerable without judgment. Think about it. If a woman can cry in front of you, share her biggest fears, and trust that you won't use it against her, your presence becomes etched in her memory. Here's a story. A friend of mine once told me about her college boyfriend. She said he wasn't the richest, the tallest, or even the most handsome, but when I was with him, I felt like I could take off the mask I wore for the world. He made me feel safe to be myself. I'll never forget that. That's the secret. A man who gives emotional safety doesn't just enter her life, he enters her soul. Section 2. The man who inspires growth. The second unforgettable quality, a man who inspires her to grow. Now let me be clear, this doesn't mean lecturing her, controlling her, or trying to change her. No woman ever forgets the man who helped her become more of who she was meant to be. Women are deeply influenced by energy. If you're constantly negative, complaining, or stagnant, that energy will drain her. But if you're passionate, disciplined, and hungry for growth, your energy will naturally pull her toward becoming better too. Maybe you encouraged her to chase a dream she thought was impossible. Maybe you challenged her to believe in herself when she doubted. Maybe you simply lived your life at such a high standard that she couldn't help but rise with you. That kind of influence never disappears. Years later, she may not even be with you, but she'll remember, he was the man who made me believe in myself again. Let me give you a real-life example. Oprah Winfrey once said she'll never forget the mentor who told her, "You get in life what you have the courage to ask for." That single moment of inspiration changed the trajectory of her career. So ask yourself, are you the kind of man who leaves people better than you found them? Because if you are, you'll never be forgotten. Section 3. The man who stays true to his word. The third thing women never forget is integrity. Listen carefully. Trust is the oxygen of any relationship. Without it, everything suffocates. When a man says one thing but does another, it creates cracks in her trust that may never heal. But when a man consistently honors his word, even in small things, it builds a foundation of respect that lasts a lifetime. Imagine this. You tell her you'll pick her up at 7. You show up at 7. You promise you'll call after her big meeting. You call. You say you'll support her dreams, and you back it up with actions. To some men, these seem like small details, but in female psychology, consistency is unforgettable. Because here's the truth. Anyone can charm a woman with words. Very few men can back those words up with actions. And let me tell you, Women never forget the man who meant what he said and did what he promised. Section 4. The man who creates joy in the ordinary. The fourth quality is powerful but often overlooked, the ability to create joy in ordinary moments. Here's the thing. Life isn't always candlelight dinners, roses, or Instagram-worthy vacations. Most of life is in the small, ordinary daily moments. And women never forget the man who made those simple moments feel magical. It could be laughing together while cooking dinner, singing in the car with the windows down, turning a rainy day into an adventure, or just sitting in silence but feeling complete because of the connection. Think about it. Why do couples grow apart? It's not because of one big fight. It's because they stopped enjoying the little moments together. A woman will never forget the man who turned ordinary days into extraordinary memories. Because when life gets hard, it's those little joyful moments that give her the strength to keep going. Here's a quick exercise for you. Next time you're with someone you care about, don't focus on impressing them with something grand. Focus on making the small moment unforgettable. That's where the magic lies. Section 5. The man who loves without chains. Finally, the fifth thing women never forget is a man who loves without trying to control. This is one of the deepest truths of female psychology. A woman may enjoy attention, affection, and even admiration, but what she treasures most is freedom within love. The men who try to control her, cage her, or limit her will always be forgotten, or worse, resented. But the man who loves her enough to let her grow, explore, and shine in her own right, that man becomes unforgettable. Because true love isn't about ownership, it's about partnership. Imagine two birds flying side by side. They're together, not because one is chained to the other, but because they choose to soar in the same direction. That's the kind of love women never forget, the love that gives wings instead of cages. When a man loves with freedom, she'll always remember him as the one who made her feel like herself, but even better. Conclusion. So let's recap the 5 things women never forget in a man. The man who made her feel emotionally safe. The man who inspired her to grow. The man who stayed true to his word. The man who created joy in the ordinary. The man who loved without chains. Gentlemen, understand this. Being unforgettable isn't about being perfect. It's about leaving a mark on her heart that time, distance, and circumstance can't erase. Because at the end of the day, women may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. If you want to be that man, start living by these principles, not just for her, but for yourself. Because the kind of man who embodies these traits is not only unforgettable to women, he becomes unforgettable to the world. So my question to you is this: which of these 5 are you going to focus on today? If you found value in this video, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more insights into psychology, relationships, and becoming the best version of yourself. Until next time, remember, true strength isn't in chasing, controlling, or impressing. True strength is in living in such a way that you can't be forgotten.